Greetings, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings. We just had our new moon in Gemini. To me, I used it as a day of activation. It was a 666 day, right? So you had June 6th, 2024, and I count the 24 as 6, 2 plus 4. So we had some really good energy come in. And it's so funny because the cards that I pulled actually kind of reflected the numbers. I'm really heavy into numbers. Even as a child, I would just be very observant of numbers and play with them in my mind. When I would see license plates, things like that. So I know yesterday, number-wise, stop it, was like spectacular. And it was a portal. It was literally a portal yesterday. Like, huge portal of energy. In, coming, and out, going. So be mindful of that. So new moon in Gemini. Stop it. I have a right to sit here. Stop it. My cat. So moonology, communication is key. I'm just going to read it a little bit. A success. So this is about relationships and communication, which is very interesting. I feel like I just went dark. I did. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, communication is key. So throat chakra energy, I think, still dealing with grounding energy, but also socialization. I think in the month of June, we do a lot of socializing. We do a lot of connecting with people, right? So I think it's important that when we do make these connections that we are communicating with clarity. Now, you communicating with clarity does not mean the other person is still going to receive it the way that you communicate it or the way you talk it out, right? Everything is not written. Everything is not spoken. Communication comes in many different forms. I don't understand why my phone is doing this, but it's like got this thing where it's lightening and darkening. I'm very sorry about that. But communication comes in many different forms. You can write it, right? Like text messages, emails, or just handwritten notes, right? You can use body language to communicate, right? How you sit in your stance, or how you're happy, or the way you move your hands, your head, all of that is a part of communication, right? So when you're communicating, still communicate with clarity, even in those instances, right? This is also about newness. As you know, every new moon is about new things, right? So create your list. Create your lists of what you want to manifest, what you want to bring into fruition, into your reality, because this is a new moon energy time. I have noticed a lot of gossip too. So use your communication for the better good. If you are speaking about someone, make sure it's the truth, right? Make sure it's something that you can say in their face and not just behind their back, right? That's good communication right there. But you got to drop into your heart space before you say something in somebody's face, okay? Because then you'll start a fight. And sometimes that might be healthy, who knows? So they say read more books. Don't be in your head and not in your heart. Very, very important for any time of year, right? They say get out and socialize and chat. But remember to, it says remember to do your daily meditations, because they'll help you unscramble your cross wires in your brain. And the cross wires is what makes us communicate improperly, right? So remember that right now for this month. Let's try to do some communication that serves the greater good and not just because of our egos, right? Okay. So when I pulled the energy cards, I intentionally asked for one card, but then I kept getting prompted to allow more cards to come out, right? So maybe it's the way I'm sitting, the way I'm facing. Okay, I don't know. But the first card that popped out was contract. Very interesting. I felt like this was just for me, Libras, but it's air energy, so Gemini, right? And look at the number of the card. 6. Can't make it up. So this is about partnerships and legal commitments. So right now, I know I've heard one of my readers, one of my astrology readers did say that this is a good time to do contracts. This is a good time to start new projects. This is a time to seal deals and do things like that, because Mercury is no longer, Mercury is happy. Wherever it is right now, I believe in Mars, I'm not certain, but it's very happy and it's not bothering anybody. So you can move forward with all these type of business things. Also scales of justice, truth telling, justice, right? We want to make sure that when we are using that air energy of Gemini, right? Two-face, don't be two-faced, you know, speak what you feel and speak it from your heart space, right? This is about being agreeable, having agreements. You know, a contract is an agreement. Okay, it's binding for the most part, but it can be broken. Okay. Most things that you do right now probably will. It's like, look at this. She's holding the scales of justice. It's balanced and she's blind. She's blind, right? So if she's blind and can't see the contract, what do you think she's using in order to sign her contract? What do you think she's using if she's blind? We have other senses. Remember I said you can communicate in other ways, right? So I think this indicates, I don't know why this keeps coming across, but it's like trust. There's trust here. And taking a risk. You can take risks now, right? You can take a leap of faith and risk. So this card is dear to me because I am a Libra. And partnerships, relationships, contractual things that are of justice, truth, righteousness, balance, that's all me right there. And those books, those skills. I think also stepping into your gifts without having to need a big explanation about it. Like blindly stepping into things with a knowing, a sense of knowing, because that chakra, that Aritu is activated within you to have a sense of knowing what's right without having to see it or completely understand it. Okay, so that was one card. Then the next card that popped out was number 22. Yin Yang, Gemini energy, all day long. Passive, active, intuitive, and logical. This card represents energetic life cycles and its purpose to help you identify a particular cyclic energy moving into or out of your experience, right? So this is like a reminder. It helps you to navigate. It helps to balance you. It helps to bring you into alignment, right? Love Gemini energy, just like my sister. It heralds a yin cycle where most of the action seems to be happening under the surface of things, right? So this card was upright, so it's yin. But then also the yang cycle. Let's talk about the yang cycle, right? The yang cycle is active and outgoing. It's not so inner, but it's outer, okay? So there's nothing wrong with either of these ways of being. You just have to know how to navigate it. You have to know how to balance yourself in that energy, right? Energies are going to come and go all the time. But what are you going to do? How are you going to utilize it beneficially to help yourself? Right? Yin Yang always going to say good, evil, white, black, red, green, anything that's complementary or opposite, whatever it is, it's always going to be there. But how are you going to navigate through it? What are some of the tools that you're going to use to navigate what's going on within you and what's going on outside of you? Okay? So I love that this came out, and this number is 22. Deuce, deuce. So, very interesting energy once again. And then a woman holding a heart came out. 4-4. You can't make it up. Female dealing with family, love, or emotions. I said, dang, I did pull this for the collective, but is spirit just trying to speak to me? That's what it seemed like. So anyway, you see this lovely woman holding this beautiful heart. She's got butterflies in her hair. And she just seems to be all about love. Bringing in love. Being nurturing. You know, having that wonderful emotion of love of not only herself, but her family, her friends, her community. You know what I'm saying? She's just a goddess right here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is affecting her. And emotionally speaking, I think that finding that balance in your energies, right? Your emotional energies, right? Finding that balance. Because even though you're holding a heart of love, you can still be emotionally unstable, right? You can still be trying to seek the balance or seek emotional stability, right? So I think this is not about us necessarily being in this energy right now, but seeking it and moving forward towards it. But allowing ourselves moments when we do feel overwhelmed with a lot of energy, allowing ourselves those moments to sit in it just for a minute so that we can figure out how to resolve and get out of it, right? That's how we are empowered. You're not empowered by holding it in. You're empowered by letting it out. And once we all get to a point of letting it out, we feel cleansed. We feel rejuvenated and healed in a little bit. Not necessarily completely, but just a little bit, right? So balancing energies, balancing emotions, the air, right? It's air energy. And Gemini is definitely going to show you some type of balance. It's going to show you that we're both and. My good girlfriend, Oni, always tells me we're both and. We're not one thing, right? So I feel like, all the energy I've been around this week, this is what the answers are to all of the energy that I've been around this week, right? So look into your life and see where that maybe fit in for you. So after that, I pulled the Moon Magic card. And this is by Stacey DeMarco. They're so cute. Look at these little cards. Look at the picture. Just a bunch of moon pictures. It says, I am ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. Whoops. Bigger, better, and brighter. I am ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. And that's newness to me. That's that new energy of Gemini moon coming in, right? So let's take advantage of that affirmation. Tell ourselves that. Tell our cells in our body that we are ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. Okay? Then, of course, I got to pull one of my cards because, these are mine. These are my cards right here. Happy Light Being. See that right there. So you can order that from my website. www.happylightbeing.com. They're manifestation oracles. So what we do is we pull them daily. Or we pull one card daily. We affirm that in our hearts and in our minds. And we come out with, I am optimistic and, I can't read it, and hopeful for my future. I am optimistic and hopeful for my future. So we're right now in the now energy of Gemini, right? But there's another side to it. And we can start looking at the future or what we are creating and manifesting as we go. And be optimistic about that. Be happy. Sit in the happiness of the fact that you can create your reality and you can move it in any direction you want. Be optimistic. Be hopeful, right? Very important to remember that. We forget to be hopeful. We lose hope and we let go of hope. Not realizing that everything is a cycle, right? Everything is cyclical and it comes back around again. So if you're sitting in misery or whatever it is, come out of that, be hopeful, and know that the universe the tide will turn again, like the moon. allows, you know, the moon forces the tides to turn again and bring in new energy, right? So thank you so much for allowing me to sit in your presence today and share with you everything. I've been through massive graduations. Both my sons. My daughter just started not law school, but her legal studies master's program at law school. So a lot happening. I'm still selling my Shebe oil. Look how long my hair has gotten since we've talked. So it strengthens the hair, but there's something in this powder that makes your hair just grow. So please go to my website, www.happylightbeing.com, and order you a bottle of Shebe oil. I hope this reading was helpful to you, and I will always encourage you to take time to do what makes you so happy. Oh, look. Let me show y'all something. So this is what I was trying to show, but the light just kept going in and out. So on my porch balcony here, I've been trying to grow food. And I have some tomato plants, and the tomatoes are coming in. I can't zoom. But the tomatoes are coming in. I have 2 tomato plants, as you can see. And then I have some food. I have some herbs over there. I have a sunflower that's going to grow. Some more tomatoes that are at the top, little baby ones up there. I have a money tree out there. I have a wonderful mixed bouquet of just mixed wildflowers in my long tree. So I'm growing some things. I'm trying to be a little green thumb. So I would encourage you to get your hands in some dirt and start trying to grow some things yourself. Just one little thing will bring so much happiness into your life. Because what you're doing is you're doing exactly what our creators did. Is you're recreating something. You're creating. So you're kind of like in partnership with the universe. You're in partnership with nature, right? So it makes you feel good to get your hands in that soil and just try to grow something, anything. And if you're not good with the green flowers and plants, then grow a rock garden. That might be fun, you know. Get some sea monkeys, do something, you know what I'm saying? Bring some happiness into your space. So I'll see you all later. I'll post my website in the description. And just to let you know, these are the oracles I used today. Energy oracles, moon magic, and moonology. Okay, because I'm not going to put all that in the chat, and then of course mine. But I'm not going to put all this in the description. So you'll have to look at the video to know what I used today. And I'll leave it at that because I want to go get started with my day. I have a gala event for my children's school this evening, and I have to help set up for that. So it's been around for 50 years. It's an African independent institution where we teach African children re-Africanization, nation building. We teach them, it goes from 3 years old all the way up to 13, 14 years old. And my son just graduated from the 8th grade. So he'll be going to a new school next year, probably entering the public school realm system. But I'm glad he had the foundation of Nation House to guide him and protect him and teach him who he is as an African man. He's a young man, right? And I want him to understand that's who he is and move from there. And I also teach at a homeschool. So our homeschool ended like a couple of weeks ago. I'm exhausted, but I love to teach. I taught 5 classes this year. Next year, I'm only going to do 3 at a time. But I teach art, and I teach art through, so like if you're learning a math skill, I teach art. I help you learn it through art. A lot of the children that I teach are brilliant, amazing, genius children who were born with what people like to call learning disabilities, but I don't see any disabilities in them. I only see abilities in them. They're brilliant. And I learn a lot from them as well. So I'm so thankful, and I sit in gratitude to be able to do this part of life that I really love, which is teaching. I've always tried to play school as a kid, so I'm just continuing that. But I'm actually just sharing what I've learned with a bunch of children who are very humble and appreciative of that as well. So anyway, that brings my heart joy. This is me asking you to find and do what makes your soul happy and find joy within yourself, right? I know I promised to bring a list of the rest of the women that I listen to. It's not that many, so that's probably why I haven't sat here and done it, because it's probably like 3 or 4 more. But I definitely want to also do a list of men, and it may not be even 10, because most of the men I listen to, it's really music. But I do have some brothers that do sound healing, some brothers that channel, some brothers that do Reiki, Tantra, and different stuff like that. So I'll share them with you when I'm ready. It'll be this month, but you just got to give me some time, because I kind of got to move according to how I feel. And a lot of times I feel overwhelmed because I'm doing a lot in this month. But I'm thinking after the 22nd of June, well, maybe at the end of this month, I'll start to, rejuvenate and pick up more, But right now, I'm kind of like in a rest. I'm kind of like a stop-go mode, stop-go. So because I have to stop, because I got to rest, I got to eat, I got to nurture myself, and then I go again. But by the end of June, it'll be rest, and then plan what you're going to do. You don't have to go, right? You're rejuvenated to sit into your energy and just move accordingly. So hold tight. We're getting there. And just enjoy the sun today. It's so bright and beautiful. It's going to go dark. But I love you all so much. And I just ask you to be happy, be light, be love. Namaste. Necilia. Mwah. Have a good day.